Ken.
Yeah.
He'll have to go into the recesses of his memories to try and find what it needs to get there. He has beaten Ronnie as well, although it came a while ago.
Yeah, and absolutely. He has to look forward to these occasions. This is what he would have loved picking up a cue for, to play the greatest player that's ever played the game on the greatest stage. What a challenge and what a dream. And he'll have to produce his best, there's no doubt about that. But he can possibly do that.
He can possibly do that, but the reality for most people here watching, the reality for most people at the Crucible or at home, is that they're expecting Ronnie to do what he did early on in his first round match, come out, make a fast start and take control.
Yeah, I mean, Ronnie O'Sullivan is playing the best snooker in the world right now. There's no doubt about that. But Ryan Day, he has to just concentrate on himself, not who is in the chair beside him. And if he can do that and block out everything and play his best snooker, well then, you know, he might have a chance.
Well, he might. Stephen Maguire and Sean Murphy obviously about to recommence the third session. Sean Murphy, the 2005 champion, he also still has a chance. He's got 4 frames to overturn. And, of course, Stephen Maguire needs just 3 more. The players standing by, here's our MC, Rob Walker.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This time next week, we'll know the identity of the 2 men about to contest the Kazoo World Snooker Championship final. But such is the marathon nature of this great event, we've still got 19 sessions of live drama to enjoy before we get that far. So welcome to a day 9 bristling with anticipation here at Yorkshire's famous City of Steel. Please welcome a player just 3 frames away from a famous win and his 4th quarter-final in 8 years, 2 decades after his Crucible debut. It's the best form we've seen from him in 2 seasons. As tenacious as he is talented, the pride of Scotland, Stephen the Maverick Maguire. And his opponent, a class act on and off the bays. He will absolutely believe he can mount the comeback this morning. If he does, he'll secure passage through to a 10th Crucible quarter-final. 4 times he's made the final, champion in 05, he is Sean the Magician Murphy! And now, to a player returning to the 2nd round for the first time in a decade after an excellent victory over European Masters champion Barry Hawkins. 4 times a ranking event winner, including last season's British Open. The pride of Wales, he's Ryan Dynamite Day. And finally, to the greatest player in history, emerging for a record-extending 28th appearance in the 2nd round, winner of 5 titles already this season, still at the peak of his powers more than 3 decades after he turned pro, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Ryan, you are called. Heads. It's the tail. Ronnie, it's your choice. You're going to break. OK.
Terrific atmosphere for 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning at the Crucible. Obviously, feel free to choose whichever match you wish to watch. Sean Murphy and Stephen Maguire is available first up on the BBC iPlayer website and app. We'll keep a close eye on that, but it's Ronnie O'Sullivan and Ryan Day for us on BBC Two. Good morning to Stephen Hendry and Dennis Taylor.
A very good morning, Rishi. A very good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Crucible Theatre. It may be a wet morning in Sheffield, but what a match we have here for you. Ronnie O'Sullivan gets the first frame underway, and he's left a potential pot into the right corner. And Ryan Day Well, that would be an ambitious shot. If he was to take the pot on, cannon that red and send the black over the pocket, what a start that would be. There's room to get round the back of the black, but I like the way he's thinking already, Stephen.
Well,
Yeah, I think to win this match, I think he's got to attack. Because not only is Ronnie Sullivan better than anyone else at the break building, cue ball control, also at safety, he's pretty much better than anyone else. So I don't think Ryan can go into this match waiting for chances. He's got to create his own chances to win.
8.
And straight away, very aggressive.
You know, when we say
No.
he's got nothing to lose, he said he's going to go out there and enjoy himself. Well, he started here unbelievably well.
But this is such an important situation because so often
60.
it's the easy balls that get missed, and that's what costs you. He's done the difficult part. He's created an opportunity with a beautiful long red. Nice shot to open the reds. Now, can you keep your concentration and can you keep control of that cue ball and not make any unforced errors? Because the only way you're going to put pressure on Ronnie is by winning frames in one visit, scoring heavily. And there you go, straight away. You
Ryan
just
goes
can't afford to
60.
miss them, or this match won't, you know, it'll be a very quick match.
Well, all that happened there was he was concentrating on getting on the pink and took his eye off the pot. And now he's got to go back to his seat. He's opened all the reds up and he might be sat there for a while.
One.
Wasn't pressure that caused him to miss that red. He was just thinking about the cue ball and getting nicely onto the pink.
Eight. Nine.
Unbelievable record there, as you can see at the bottom of your screens. Didn't want that little flick on the red there.
60.
He's still okay if the one next to the pink is available.
Seventeen.
Well, I mentioned there that Ryan may be sitting in his seat for a while. But the thing is with this player at the table, you're not sitting there that long because he can finish the frame in a
20.
matter of 7 or 8 minutes.
24. Thirty. $30. $38.
Not even someone who's had the success here that Ronnie O'Sullivan has. It's still nice to get a nice easy
39.
opening in the first frame to get your cue arm going And that's exactly what he was gifted by his opponent. Ryan Jay's got it. In my opinion, this first
43.
little session of 4 frames, he's got to get one of them
44.
to be involved in this match. If he loses this little mini session 4-0, now he's in big trouble.
The disappointing thing is you're sitting in your seat and you know all these
50.
balls should have been yours, because it was Ryan that opened them up and then just missed that easy red.
51.
Yeah, this was the miss, but he couldn't roll through for the black. He was concentrating on getting on the pink and took his eye off the pot, and it's going to cost him this opening frame by the looks of things.
56. $57.
Yeah, you would hope that because Ryan has missed that easy ball, that he's saying to himself, right, that's the last time I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure when I get in next, I'm going to fully concentrate.
64.
I'm going to make my mind up before I get down what shot I'm going to play, and I'm going to make sure I get it.
65.
Ronnie O'Sullivan just never, well, of course he does something, but hardly ever misses an easy ball. That's the secret.
And the secret as to whether he makes a century in this opening frame
72.
will be coming up after the next shot.
73.
And he's got the perfect angle on the black to just nudge either red away, probably the left one. Doesn't matter which one he cannons. Or he hit them both together, but he's still on them.
80.
Just
80.
coming up to 8 minutes for this opening frame. This is typical of the Rocket. A number of great champions down the years who started their matches at the Crucible with a century break.
88. 89.
The gentleman next to me did that throughout the 90s, as indeed did Steve Davis throughout the 80s. Always got off to a great start.
$96.
I suppose if you look at it from Ryan's point of view, this wouldn't be a shock to him
98.
what his opponent's doing in the first frame. As soon as he missed the red, he would have expected this.
101.
A magnificent
105.
start with the century break. That's 1,262 centuries he's made. It's his 60th
107.
century this season.
$116.
It may be early on a Sunday morning in the Crucible Theatre here in Sheffield, but what a start. The Rocket has lifted off early. He's won the opening
Everybody
frame.
knows that, and everybody's expecting Ronnie O'Sullivan to win. There's no doubt about that, and half the crowd are as well. But you've got to have belief in yourself, you know, and as I said, snooker is one of those sports that when Ronnie O'Sullivan is sitting in that chair, he cannot do anything when you're at the table. That's what Ryan Day has to think about. Not easy, though.
Ronnie just tapping the table a few times there in appreciation of that very good break-off shot from Ryan Day. It's going to be the 2 cushion and just glance off the red to get back up the table. Not easy to judge. Needs the blue to come to his rescue, and I think it has. It's blocked both those reds, the left side of the table, so good result for Ronnie there. Caught the red a little on the thickish side. That's where you've got to leave the cue ball when you're playing Ronnie O'Sullivan. Can just see enough of this red to get back down the table. And he is one of the best tactical players in the game also.
Yeah, never plays a safety shot unless he's absolutely glued to the cushion. Never plays a safety shot playing ball. He always plays it with some sort of side on the cue ball to create angles to get the cue ball where he wants it to go. The most awkward place for his opponent. Well, this will help round A.
What?
Although he's not faced with the, even if he's rolling up to the yellow dead weight on these cloths, this isn't as easy as it looks. Yeah, well played.
Round A1.
Yeah, it looked a straightforward shot, but you can leave it short and put yourself in trouble. And if you hit it just slightly too hard, you don't get the snooker. Judged it well. Not straightforward to land on one and leave it safe here. There's no red near the cushion. That red, there's 3 reds to the left of the black. The back one, he'd love to get to that. He's just trying to land on the 2 reds. Now, is the red available into the left corner? Don't think so. No. Cleverly blocks off the escape down the right side of the table. That was always available to Ryan there, just the containing safety shot. Use the yellow ball as the covering ball this time, off the side cushion. Might have to play a similar type shot here and leave the white up this end. Send the red back up the table. A potential pot to the right middle pocket, but far from easy with the cue ball near the cushion. Just the safety. Got him in trouble again here, because of the pink and the black. He can't get to any of the reds there to get back down the table. That's gone all wrong. But once again, Ronnie put him in all sorts of trouble with the safety shot there, and that's created this opening. So it's an early chance for Ronnie O'Sullivan.
What?
Yeah, to be fair to Ryan, that was fractions away from being a decent shot. But as you said, Dennis, he was in a lot of trouble there. Just landed a little bit short on the blue here. So the red to the left of the pink is onto left corner. He'll have to play from slightly further away than he would have liked. He is on the pink, which, although the more difficult pot, brings about the better position. Almost struck that too well. He played for 2 red, top one to left middle. It struck it so well. He got backspin in the cue ball. It was just a stun, really.
Eight.
That's beautifully judged.
$15. 16.
He started this match the way he started the match against another very talented Welsh player,
20.
Jackson Page. 10-1, he won that. He was devastating.
23.
No, I think this is upper level, even from that. Against Jackson Page, it was a while before he made a century break. It was almost, a strange thing to say, but Ronnie O'Sullivan was almost workmanlike the way he got that lead against Jackson Page. There was lots of getting up from
30.
shots, back down again. A lot of that can be dictated by
30.
the balls, the way they are on the table, but this morning it's just been straightforward. It just looks absolutely on it. That hasn't worked out in terms of a red to right corner. He's got one to left corner. But to me this week, he seems to have like an arrogance around the table, which is not a bad thing. It's a competitive arrogance about him that's ominous for everyone else.
And if he's on the brown, he can get back into prime position again. I'm not sure if he can see enough of the brown. If not the brown, he can pot the green. Prefer the brown, obviously. Really looking up at where he wants to place the cue ball. In fact, it's the yellow he had a quick glance at as well, so it tells me he can't hit the brown, so green it is. Most of these pots are going right in the centre of the pocket, Stephen.
At that cue ball, I mean, I can't tell you how good that shot was. Really acute angle on the green. But the control, the strike of the cue ball to get the action, to get the work. I mean, it's almost like a screw shot come drag shot. It's just beautiful. Again, just almost like a drag.
49.
You can't play snooker much better than this.
$56.
First frame was just under 10 minutes. We've had a few safety shots in this, and it's just coming up to 11.5 minutes, even with that little series of safeties.
Yeah, as I said before, it might have sounded
64.
very premature in the first frame, but as I said before, Ryan Day, if he doesn't get a frame in one of these first four, there's in big trouble in this match.
Frame already safe.
72. $73.
It doesn't go past the green. It's a
17.
thin snick to the right middle. Looks like the middle. Dear me.
80.
How does he get to his next red? This will be some shot if he can pot the brown and move them. What an effort this is, by the way. Unbelievable.
84. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 84. I'm afraid.
Well, no century break in this frame, but as I said, you can't play snooker better than that. Unbelievable start.
Third frame.
This morning here at the Crucible Theatre. Hasn't quite covered. Do you know, it's amazing. Look at the way the balls are. The very opening frame, Ryan there knocked a red like this in, cannoned the red next to the black and opened it up. May not play that this time, but it's identical. Just coming around to have a look at the black. I don't think it passes that red, so the red to the left corner, it's not even the right angle. He'll...
I suppose it's one thing we haven't seen yet, Dennis, isn't it? Whether his long game's in tune, well, we're still not going to see. He's not going to take that on. Everything else is in fine fettle. You'll be annoyed with that one, Ronnie. Not getting the cue ball anywhere near the baulk cushion with a safety shot.
This is good. Almost got the snooker. Yeah, you never really settle till you get a frame on the board, and as you mentioned, Stephen, Ryan Day could do with a frame before the mid-session interval. But he's going to have to create the chances, so he's going to have to play a telling safety to try and create an error from this man. He caught the green the previous safety. He's caught the brown this time. It just annoy you when you hit the ball colours.
One.
I'll tell you what, that was a beauty. Having sat out the first 2 frames, to knock that in will give him a confidence boost. Don't know what he's done with the cue ball there.
3.
He's overhit that by a long way. It's only going to be a difficult cut-in that he's faced with. Could maybe play it. In fact, it was too thin. He could only play the safety, so...
Round A3.
Yeah, poor positional shot when he potted the yellow.
Foul. Round A4.
Got the white back down the table, and Ryan's faced with a long pot, and these require first-class cueing to knock these in. Get back up towards the blue. There's plenty of colours available, but it's not a gimme by any means, this. Well played.
One.
Very well played. And he's on the black. And he's on the pink. The black's only going to be available into one pocket. He's got the red at the back of the bunch. What sort of angle has he got on this? You can screw this back, and the pink or blue would be available. And he'll open a few more reds up.
9.
Didn't quite get into that. The pink doesn't go up past the green, so it's a tricky blue.
Yeah, the blue's made easier for the fact that the green's off its spot.
Well, he's looking at the black now. He can get through to that. That's a tough shot.
Good pot. Not quite out of the woods yet
16.
in terms of in perfect position to make a break. He's got red to right middle, or this one to the left corner pocket. And this red also to left middle, so it's just one sort of good pot and good positional shot away from creating an opportunity for himself here, Ryan.
17.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, the temptation is to go into the pack. The 3 reds at the top of the pack, they hit the middle one, but it may play for a red. Yeah, that's the right shot for me, but he's lost the cue ball slightly. It's a little bit unlucky.
22.
Didn't quite find his target red He wanted to get the middle one of those three, just caught the side of it. But still, you've got to consider yourself a bit unlucky to land awkward.
I wonder if those reds, he's looking at them. Tell you what might get him out of trouble here. The only thing is he's got to hit the first one very thin to make sure he doesn't squeeze the second red away from the pocket. If he was behind this, it would be unmissable. The fact the cue ball's near the cushion, you see, he's got to hit that first red thin, otherwise it could squeeze the second red away from the pocket. Well played.
23.
That's okay, he can just drop the blue in, there's a red into the left corner, and then he can get on the black, so it's a good chance for the Welshman here, 30 in front.
Yeah, it's all about composure now. Can he stay composed?
28.
Because he's played some good shots here to create this opportunity. Oh, well, that was anything but composed.
Round out 28.
That was, he'd done all the hard work and he's seen the shot. Okay, I can win the frame now. And well, that was a horrible bit of cueing, you have to say.
Yeah, you could see in that picture there, his backhand just come out to the right slightly, which caused him not to deliver the cue in a straight line, and he hit it a bit hard. He didn't need to hit it that hard. It was just a bit of tension. But of course, when you've got a player like this sort of coming behind you, you know, it does make each shot much more difficult. It's trying to forget who you're playing and just play the table.
Yeah, the intimidation factor is huge with Ronnie O'Sullivan.
8. Nine.
That's just about okay. He hit it too hard there. The two reds he wanted to be on, but this shouldn't be a problem. Oh, hang on a minute. Shouldn't be a problem.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 16.
Unexpected miss there. Nobody's seen this coming. Just a bit close to the red and misjudged it. Just got to be a wee bit careful. If he plants this one in, he'll be on the pink or black, but just, it may look simple, but he's got to make the correct connection on the first one. Well played.
Thank you. You got it.
A second bite of the cherry. I'm sure Ryan felt that he was going to be sitting where Ronnie is. And then that unexpected miss. Can he take full advantage?
Eight. Yeah,
He's going to need a little bit of help here to get to this one. Extended rest. Extension on his cue. Looks to be dead straight, so just leave the white with the red is. Could have been better at a slight angle. He could get over near the black, but still should be okay. dead straight, as you can see.
Cheers, thank you. 9.
It's not going to need any of the reds that are near cushions in winning the frame this visit. Oh. That shot,
Line day 9.
you would think, would have been the frame because he's nice on the next red, but again, it's an easy shot miss. It's a black off the spot.
Eight.
Wow.
Ronnie
What's going
O'Sullivan.
on?
8.
That's an incredible couple of misses. Well, from both players.
Well,
Well, this is the third chance that Ryan's had. He's had a quick look at the scoreboard. He's 21 in front.
He was probably thinking before coming out this morning, if I get one chance in every
6.
frame, if I can take it, he's, as you said, Dan, his third chance. What a gift.
yeah.
Oh, 2 gifts, actually. The last 2 misses from Ronnie.
Cheers, Ryan. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you.
2 reds that are near the cushion here are both
7.
available. Okay, may have to play this with a little bit of pace.
14.
To get on onto the black.
$15.
He did that very nicely. Black and one more red to make absolutely certain of his first frame.
Yeah, and it'll feel like the weight of the world's off his shoulders if he can just
22.
pot this red, get this frame won. You'll think, I'm in the match.
23.
Took 3 chances, but he's got his frame on the board. A very important frame for Ryan Day early in this match.
He's got that confidence back again now, Ryan Day. The pink was a little bit of a distraction, but it still was a sitter that Ronnie missed there. Doesn't matter about this red. Ronnie's leaving the arena. 2 unexpected misses from Ronnie O'Sullivan, and Ryan Day can settle down now. He's got his first frame on the board, but he's
And a little bit of belief, but as long as he cuts out the unforced errors and try and keeps them down to a minimum.
I'm hoping Stephen says something very
I'm sure he
interesting
will.
now.
Well, that was a very strange break off. Completely mishit that, Ryan Day. Very fortunate to make contact with the yellow.
I don't think I've ever seen a break-off shot like that before. Don't know what happened. I know he came back in and he was sort of drying his hands, but have a look at this. Very unusual. Came down the wrong side of the blue. Yeah, good point about the tables. Compared to last year, I think it's 50% of the century breaks at this stage was made last year. So they have a template that fits into the pocket, but there's only fractions can make a big difference. And I think they're much better like this. Because these players are so good, they'll adapt to them anyway. It just means a shot along the cushion, you've got to be more accurate. You can't just get down and bash it in.
Played that as kind of a shot to nothing. He knew where he was putting the cue ball. He wasn't going to leave anything there. I suppose the way to look at it, Dennis, at the middle of the pocket's in the same place. However big or small they are.
Well, he's hit a couple of shots completely wrong. The break-off shot and then that one. And he may have gotten away with this if it doesn't pass the green. I'm not sure. I think it's blocked. Yeah. So a couple of very strange shots at the start of this frame from Ryan Day. You'd have to say there were mishits, Stephen.
Yep, completely. But it's maybe that sort of thing that might put Ronnie out of his comfort zone. The fact that Ryan's played 2 or 3 sort of unorthodox shots that you don't expect, and sort of getting away with them a bit.
As you can see, the yellow and brown off their spots, but they're still not too badly placed to try and hide the cue ball behind. Has to be careful with this. If he doesn't catch it right, he can double kiss this. Played with lots of side, and he played it very well. That wasn't easy. Left a potential pot on. Pink's tied up, black's tied up at the moment. The red's potable, but it's the cue ball. Just keep an eye on this white, see where it finishes. Well, how has the red stayed there? He was so close, it's wobbled and stayed right over the pocket, but he wasn't on anything. It was so difficult to get position, but that red must have wobbled at least 6 times in the jaw of the pocket there.
Yeah, clever shot. Deliberately playing the red in off the other one so he could get the angle on the cue ball to get on the black. Now, can he string a break together? Should be feeling a lot more relaxed having won the previous frame. Cued this one nice as well, didn't overhit it. What an opportunity.
9.
Well, he won the last frame, and his highest break was 30. That red's a bit of a distraction, the one to the right of the black. He's just looking to see if he could play for that and get it out of the way and clear the black into both corners. Give himself a better opportunity. think he's on that red. Let's see when the black goes back on its spot. And if Ryan could go to the mid-session interval, all square, he'd enjoy his cup of tea. Long way to go before that's the case, but he's got the one frame on the board which helps you to settle in.
Yeah, and I think another good thing to come from if he can win this frame at this visit is Ronnie's missed basically the last 3 pots he's gone for, and to keep that sort of memory in Ronnie's mind, send him back to the dressing room with negative thoughts.
24. 25.
That's okay. Didn't quite get the cue ball as he intended,
32.
but there was options available to him there. So important now that he keeps this effort going and keep the pressure on his opponent. Because make no
32.
mistake, this is a very talented Welsh player you're looking at here. He's made 457 century breaks.
It's gone wrong. Cue ball far too close to the side cushion. It'd be okay if he was straight in this red. He could just follow through for the black to the right corner. But he's got to play the more difficult one. Yeah, good shot to regain position. He got perfect on the blue. He may go into the pink here. Just gently. Just in a way of killing the pace of the cue ball. He's decided against it. The reason I said to go into the bunch is you say the cue ball's now run up further away from these reds than I would like.
Yeah, from that picture it looked like he was leaning on the brown, but he was well away from it. In fact, it's a change of plan because of that brown being in an awkward spot when he leant over the table. He's quite a tall lad, Ryan, so even with that little extension he can reach up past the blue spot. That's an advantage.
47.
I think he thought he'd missed that. But just the pace took it into the pocket. Yeah, there he thought, I've wobbled this. Needs to flick the pink, and he has. Didn't intend that. He hit that a little bit too hard. That white was going to slide past the pink, and once he cannoned it, still in prime position.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to put check side on that cue ball there. Came back at a funny angle off the cushion. But got away with it. It's not quite got complete control of the cue ball. He's having to play little
62.
awkward shots to keep the breaks going.
$63.
This is a good effort, isn't it, from Ryan?
It really is, Stephen, and if he can get the correct cannon here, it'll be the 4th frame for him. He cannoned the wrong ball. There was a red to the left that he should have cannoned, and it couldn't have gone wrong. So not going to win. Just have a look at this. If he cannons the red, it's just away from the bunch. He's a bit unlucky, really, not to leave a pot on, but he's in the driving seat, but there's still enough there
Ryan Day.
for Ronnie O'Sullivan, but it's a wonderful 70 break. And that shot just helps Ryan Day a little bit. It's sent a couple of reds near the cushions. He's got a few reds that are awkward, just in case he leaves Ronnie an opportunity. It's going to be difficult then to clear up. Well, that's a careless shot to knock the difficult red back into play. That was a very careless safety from Ryan there. Just a little bit of noise in between frames on the other table. Ronnie just settling himself.
One.
Well, that's a wonderful piece of cueing from the cushion, because he's missed a few sitters, and as I say, it's a chance now. But Ryan's safely where he brought the most difficult red into play. It's not very often you would make a 70 break and lose a frame,
8.
but it is a possibility here.
No. $16.
I thought that was in. Ronnie thought it was in. It'll be a very relieved Ryan Day that comes to the table with the red sitting right over the pocket.
One. Thank you.
Well, I think at the start of the match, if you'd offered Ryan 2-2, he would bite your hand off. Especially after being 2-0 down, especially after the way Ronnie O'Sullivan started. So Ryan Day will be delighted with his first session's work. Players go into the mid-session interval, all square, 2-2.
Well, it was a great start from Ronnie, winning the first 2 frames, but all credit to Ryan Day to come back and square the first mini-session, 2 frames apiece between them. Ronnie O'Sullivan, of course, makes a fast start most times, but I think Ryan must have felt good coming back, Ken, because of that start that he made where he made mistakes.
Absolutely. And he looked very nervous at the beginning, which is understandable, you know, but those couple of frames would have certainly given him confidence and settled him down. And another 4 frames to go. If you could, you know, stay in touch with him, then it'll, you know, that sets him up for the next session as well.
Well, hopefully it'll be as entertaining as it has been so far. Back we go to our commentators, Stephen Hendry and Dennis Taylor.
Thank you very much, Rishi. Welcome back, everyone. Over these best of 25s, 3 sessions, you just play little mini sessions. You just concentrate on the 4 frames. Might be able to take this red on. He's just looking to see with the tip of his cue there, if he takes the long red into the left corner, he'll definitely, if he pots it, he'll be on the black. He was just concerned with what he would leave, but this needs good cueing.
What?
He was up and walking before the red hit the pocket. Look at Ryan. Yeah, up. He knew he hit that well.
Yeah, his long game's been impressive. 5 out of 6. But that is what happened there.
Ryan Dable.
I mean, to be so accurate over that distance and then a black of a spot to miss it by so far. I was just about to say as well that I was fascinated to see what happens in this second session this morning. Ronnie obviously finished it with 2 or 3, glaring misses. That was incredible how far Ryan missed that black off a spot by.
There's the putt success rate, 92%. That's good. When you get into the 90s, you know you're on the right track. But yeah, that was amazing from Ryan after he seemed to hit the black far too hard. Oh, can he redeem himself here? Oh, he's just cueing slightly across a couple of the shots. It just means you're not delivering the cue in a straight line. See the backhand there just moving slightly rather than going through dead straight. It's the toughest part of the game, is potting a dead straight ball. I think most amateurs find that difficult as well. They don't mind cutting a ball back in, but when you're dead straight on one, it tests your cue action. No. And he's left one up into the corner. Unless that red blocks the path, he may be okay. The red he missed is blocking the path, as you can see there. So perfectly safe. And in fact, the safety part of the table now is behind the black spot. And the players don't like this type of frame when the reds go up the other end. Not easy to get the white back with it tucked up in the cushion. He may just have to roll to the reds here. Looking to get the white tight on the cushion again behind the black there. And once again, very awkward for Ronnie to get the cue ball back. No chance of a re-rack because the reds are all starting to open up. And not straightforward to roll to anything this time. You may have to take this pot on to the middle pocket. What a shot this will be. That had to go in, as you can see, but there was no easy escape to roll onto a red for safety, and he just tried to pot his way out of trouble. And Ryan Day's got a wonderful chance in this frame after the mid-session interval.
One.
This is the first time in the championship that Ronnie's looked a little bit agitated, a little bit frustrated. As I say, 1 or 2 easy misses in the previous frame. And doesn't like to be forced into going for a pot like that. So yeah, chance here for
7.
Ryan in this first session of this 3-session match to
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
sort of put his mark on it, as it were. What a chance here. We've said it already this morning when he's been in. The balls have been nice and he's missed easy pots. So this is all about concentration, controlling that cue ball. He's got a sense that Ronnie's just gone off the boil a little bit since the second frame.
Eight.
That's okay. The greens, he shouldn't miss it, but just in not as close as he should be to the next colour.
Yeah, he played to drop on the blue with the previous shot, but
11.
just overhit it slightly. But with that red up the other end of the table, there was no problem. Just keeping
12.
close control of that cue ball, and that's much better now. Perfect angle on the blue just to stun it in. This is an important visit for Ryan Day. He's won the last 2 frames and
17.
he'll not get a better chance. Just got to keep that cue ball under control. And he's not doing that at the moment. He's having to maybe go up for a balk colour again here. That last shot was just straightforward, knock the blue, leave good angle on the red to drop it in and be on the blue. And now he's looking at playing up for the yellow or brown.
$18.
So that makes it just a little more difficult with the positional side of things. They look as if they're sitting nicely, but they're covering each other, those reds. That looks to be perfect. There's 3 reds together behind the pink. He's on the back one.
20. $21.
Yeah, this is much better. Last 4 or 5 shots have been really nice in terms of cue ball control.
$28. $29.
With each break, each frame that Ryan Day can win, it just increases the belief that he can win the match. Little shake of the head there. Yeah, he's finished dead straight. He's got so much cue power. Being straight doesn't really make much difference, but he hasn't hit that one well at all. This red to the right middle is now missable from this distance.
Ryan Day.
Yeah, he's putting a few little quick ones in still. He didn't get the action. As Stephen said, you can tell him the way he's flexing his arm. He didn't get into the shot before. He didn't get the required action.
1.
Can't afford to do that because, okay, Ronnie may have gone off the boil for a while, but he'll soon get back into stroke again if Ryan keeps leaving him in.
Six. 7.
A little triangular reds will need moving in a few shots' time. Just leave a good angle this time.
40.
Although it could have done with being a little bit better on this red to just roll it in for the black. Change your plan.
15.
Gonna have to wait before he can get into those 3 reds.
$20.
Might leave himself on the green this time if he doesn't screw back for the blue, just for the angle. I screwed back for the
21.
blue, so key shot coming up. No, he's lost the white. Once he hit the pink half ball, he was always going to lose the cue ball. Had to hit the pink full ball there. And this is a tricky one into the right middle pocket. Oh, what a shot
27.
that is. Made that look so easy. That was such a tough shot. This is what can happen, and Ryan Days let him off the hook, but that
30.
shot there at pace was excellent.
35.
He had a chance there to win this frame.
$40. 40.
Now this red is available if he can drop in behind it. He'd have to be very, very precise. He can leave that red for 3 pockets if he judges the white. That's not going to be easy now. Up into the corner.
48.
Looking at the scoreboard, he's just 11 in front. This is far from easy. This back on the black if it goes in. Wow.
49.
What a shot that is. That is a real beauty to knock it in at that pace and get on the black perfectly. One more good positional shot and Ryan knows the frame's gone. He's missed a little trick there, Stephen, hasn't he, Ryan?
56.
Yeah, once again, it's been a straightforward. This red wasn't straightforward. I said it was missable from near the cushion, but it was the positional shot before that that let him down. But this has been a stunning reply from Ronnie O'Sullivan. We were talking about tight pockets before. How accurate that last red was. Phenomenal at that speed.
61.
Yeah, you got to take your chances against this man. You don't get many. Sometimes it's only a half chance. But if you don't
65.
take them, well, he's just going to punish you every time.
And punish you very quickly.
70. $76.
Well, it hasn't taken long to clear the table here. Ryan
83
there
on the frame.
missed
Ronnie
his
O'Sullivan.
opportunity. Ronnie O'Sullivan certainly didn't, and that was a wonderful clearance there of 83, and it gets himself.
Don't forget this afternoon the second session of John Higgins against Mark Allen. That match could not be closer. 4-4 overnight. Here, O'Sullivan now may be in the mood to pull away, although we thought that at 2-0. O'Sullivan looking to reach the quarter-finals at the Crucible for the 22nd time, already top of that list. Stephen Hendry 19, John Higgins 17, Steve Davis and Jimmy White 15 each. In all world ranking tournaments, by the way, it would be his 144th quarter-final appearance. Again, a record.
Well, he didn't play that. He only tried to get the cue ball back. I think he probably tried to put the red into the bunch of reds. Certainly not into that pocket that he's had trouble with. He put his hand up to apologise for the shot to Ryan. Might have brought him in to the frame in a fairly unconventional way. If he can pop this red and get onto a colour. I don't know if he would try and drag it in and hold for the black, or whether he'd want to get the cue away from there. Depends how confident he feels.
Five. Nine.
There's a fairly challenging rest shot, this, to get not only the pot, but to find a way onto a colour. It's the point, isn't it? He's so good left-handed, O'Sullivan, but his ability with the rest should not be underestimated.
Yes, in the midst of the 83 clearance we've just seen from him in frame 5, he potted a really good red with the rest to balk.
Yes, you're getting a good view of the table. It's that troublesome red that is blocking the black to the right corner. That's going to be a concern.
60.
Of course, he'd like to be able to just pot the red into the left corner, and that's the way to move it. Not delighted with that, O'Sullivan. Little gasp. Now he's got a tricky one. Pink to middle is high risk. He's looked at the green, which is the same sort of shot that Stuart Bingham potted last night when 2-0 down to Jack Lazowski. It was a super shot taking the cue ball round. This is the same. Someone just sneezing right on the backswing didn't put him off. It was an extraordinary
90.
sound, but Thankfully, it didn't make any difference.
$20.
That sounded like Chaz and Dave Gertcher. Of course, Neil, you know all about Chaz and Dave, but the least said about that, the better.
Well, this chance,
27.
don't forget, it came off a fluke to the right corner, which he put his hand up to apologise for, but it clearly he wasn't that sorry. He's still going.
$35. 36. $43. 44. 51.
Potential snag here. Just jacking up the cue. Yeah, not surprised he sent that one wide. And a display of frustration.
Yeah, maybe his concentration, he feels, is not... he lost it perhaps in the middle of that break. There's a lot of noise actually in there. A lot of people making extraordinary noises. I guess it affects both players because Ryan has taken no advantage of it whatsoever. And that is where, if he's got a chance of winning, he must exploit the mistakes, which don't happen very often.
What?
Yeah, I mean, he hit that straight on. There was an angle needed. Developing into an interesting session of snooker, this, isn't it? Because there have been mistakes made. At the moment, O'Sullivan looks the more forthright, the more likely to just go on and win frames. Basically, you just got to get to 13, haven't you? Can't always
7.
pot everything or play perfect snooker.
The galling thing for Day when he came to the table, yes, he was well behind, but the balls were there for a clearance.
$30.
Frame ball again.
40.
Another frame goes west.
$20.
Yes, it does, and you know, people think, well, against Ronnie O'Sullivan, you've got no chance. Well, if ever there's an example of that being untrue, it's today, because Ryan Day has chances in almost every frame. And he's only picked up 2 of the 6 of them.
28. 29. 36. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 36.
Not clinical, not particularly happy, but back in front by a couple of frames. Ronnie O'Sullivan is 4-2 up. An intense morning of snooker, and both tables still going. Sean Murphy refusing to wave the white flag. It's now 12-9 in favour of Stephen Maguire, but it was 12-7.
Thank you. The 7th frame. Ronnie
As for this afternoon, Jack Lisowski resumes against Stuart Bingham, 5-3 down. From this position, 4-4 would annoy, displease Ronnie O'Sullivan. 5-3, maybe adequate. 6-2, that's what he's aiming for. And the way that Ryan Day has played, the looseness of it, the mistakes he's thrown in, 6-2 on the cards for me. That was well judged. O'Sullivan started off so well, breaks of 123 and 84 as he rattled into a 2-0 lead. Since, not so good. Thing is, though, it's not just about him. Day has to start capitalising, as he did in frames 3 and 4.
Thanks, Ryan. Sam.
Rob Spencer just placing the pink closest to its own spot in a direct line with the black, because the pink spot and indeed all of the other spots were occupied.
8.
Just the wrong side of the blue. There is a shot to come round 2 cushions with stun and right hand running side. The cue will zip round the cushions, which could take him into the bunch. Well, that's what he's played, all right. He didn't play the shot that was put up on the screen. But as you can see, he didn't exactly nail it.
30. Ryan Day, 30.
We might be getting to the crux over on the other table shortly. Sean Murphy, Mr. Red, left it hanging in the jaws of a top pocket, and Stephen Maguire has got a good chance to maybe put it to bed. We'll keep you abreast of the situation, of course.
That's not a bad shot, just to avoid that pink and red ball on the left side. So easy to crash into those on the way back down the table on safety shots down the left channel. Still feels like a lot to play for, doesn't it, in these two frames, based on the fact that Ryan Day has definitely played a part in this session. He needs to take something out of it more than just a couple of frames.
But he throws in a real curveball. Look at that one. Cue ball in and out of balk and almost down to the blue spot. We've seen a lot this morning. The one thing we haven't seen is a genuinely scrappy frame. And the way the Reds are going, this might be it.
Yes, and of course the scrappy frames mean the same as all the others, don't they? You've just got to win them, and there's a way of doing so. And there's always be certain players are better at winning them than others. It's not ever been Ronnie's real strong suit when things go scrappy, but of course he knows how to win those frames too. Doesn't necessarily play into his strengths. Well, he certainly opened up the balls there, goodness. And not in his best interest either. Now, Ryan Day, we know, has got a lot of cue power. We saw it in his previous match on that long green that he powered in. I think this is pretty straight as well. So how does he get out of that right corner of the table? Now he's got the green fairly close to the pocket, but he needs to get the cue ball away from where it is in knocking this red in.
Well,
Nothing ambitious at all. Stephen Maguire on the verge. Victory over Sean Murphy.
71.
It's a break of 71. And that seals for him what will be, so many levels, such a satisfying victory. And a much-needed one after his career over the last couple of seasons has gone backwards. Just a matter now whether Maguire can finish in style. and make what would be the first century of the match.
Yeah, of course, meanwhile, we're watching two matches here, and Ronnie hit that last red quite poorly and opened up the table again. So again, Sullivan's concentration is just dipped a bit.
85.
Ryan Day has to take advantage. As far as Maguire, what a great feeling. This is the victory lap, isn't it? The match is won. You know your opponent is about to shake your hand. And it's a question of how many you make. So Steve Maguire, a bit of a sleeping giant in the game, really. Seems to have awakened here at the Crucible.
93.
Into his eighth quarter-final at the Crucible.
102.
And now all of the tension washes away. Yes, he's delighted.
105.
But the overwhelming emotion is relief. Where he is in the rankings, he badly needs a large haul of ranking points.
109.
Yeah, sure.
And this is where you get the largest of the lot at the Crucible.
114.
He'll be very satisfied with the result, but he won't be satisfied merely to reach the quarterfinals.
Yeah, first century of the match, that. Which doesn't tell the story of how much quality there was. It's been superb. Yeah, first century of the match, that. Which doesn't tell the story of how much quality there was. It's been superb.
Talk about finishing a match off clinically. They shake hands. It's all very cordial. And for Stephen Maguire, yeah, not quite so pumped up as he was yesterday in taking a 10-6 lead. He's just delighted to go through. And now he'll be back in action on Tuesday against David Gilbert.
Yes, it was getting quite noisy over there. At least these two now will have the Crucible to themselves for the remainder of this session. Might just concentrate the mind of O'Sullivan. I think his concentration has just, as I mentioned earlier, dipped slightly. Allowed Ryan with this chance because he desperately needs frames, the Welshman. To avoid falling too far behind after one of three sessions of this match.
$26. $27. $33. $34.
Yeah, just the top side of straight angle here to enable him to go into these reds. Try and disturb them. Yeah, he didn't quite power into them, but he has tried to just extricate one.
40.
And he seems to have done so. But quite tricky, though, over the top of this ball, rolling it in. Very well played.
42.
Yes, you might just have to disturb them again. those 3 reds. Just little greys off them, 1 red needed.
49.
Yeah, the last shot from Day was a mathematic shot, wasn't it? He'd done his calculations.
This is the best passage of play that Ryan Day has had in this match. He's shown us glimpses of what he can do, but here he has knuckled down quite considerably. I don't know if it takes him a while to settle into a match, and it's never easy to play O'Sullivan if you're his opponent. You know,
57.
most of the crowd are with the rocket, aren't they? But finally, he's playing his best snooker. This has been an
58.
excellent break.
Day responsible for a break of 70 in the 4th frame, but this a lot more intricate. And that's the mistake that cost O'Sullivan frame 7.
66.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an excuse because the Crucible is the Crucible, but there was a lot of hubbub, wasn't there, next door with the match coming to an end. And this place has never changed, so it's not a new thing, but at that moment, that's where we were. Oh, what a fantastic shot that was.
72. $73.
He's made 20 centuries at the Crucible as Ryan Day, including a 145.
81.
But one here against O'Sullivan. With the eyes of the world watching on, that would be sweet.
$88. 90. 93. 97.
Yeah, very fine break this. All credit to Ryan Day, looking down the barrel a bit, possibly going as far as 6-2 down. The run of play, it seemed possible.
$108.
He's hit some balls with supreme authority in this break.
The break of the day. Ryan, so often, not just at the Crucible, but in multi-session matches throughout the season, the last frame of the first session has big importance. And you get that feeling here. The crowd on the other side of the arena are delighted. They got to see the end of Maguire and Murphy with all of the excitement attached there. And now the dividing wall has gone up, Neil, and they get to see a frame of O'Sullivan.
Well, they do, and they might see a frame of Ryan Day, mightn't they? We don't know. The point is, this is where the beauty of these long matches come in. Now, you saw O'Sullivan sitting there. He was watching that terrific break of Ryan Day's. He's a little bit rattled himself. He's not played too badly today at all, but just the odd little moment of where his concentration has lapsed. Now, he's going to feel that he doesn't come out of this session with a lead of some kind. You know, it's not quite what he was hoping for, given the run of play. So this 8th frame, yes, it means someone's 4-4 or 5-3. That's a long match, but O'Sullivan probably feels he earned a 5-3 lead, but he hasn't made it yet. And of course, if Ryan Day won this frame for 4-all, he would be well pleased, because, you know, at 2-0 down, O'Sullivan looked brilliant. Then he got into it, he missed a lot of balls. He's not missing so many now, so this last frame has got some importance, some significance psychologically to both players, but hey, this is the Crucible, and that's why these long matches have so much meaning.
Yes, it's been a mixed bag for O'Sullivan. The first two frames, as Neil said, breaks of 123 and 84. He looked $1 million. His clearance from 37-0 down in the fifth was also world class. But mistakes have been sprinkled in there as well.
Thank you. The final frame of the session. Ryan Day to break. Final frame of the session. Ryan Day to break.
Can Day achieve parity going into Sunday lunch?
Yeah, that's a lovely shot. It was well measured. He knew the cue ball was coming back to safety. Of course, had the red not gone in, it might have stayed close to a pocket, though.
Ryan O'Sullivan 1.
It was a big shot to take on. And so was that.
Indeed. I mean, he had to play it, he was compelled to play it, but of course, it's difficult because you've got to plough the cue ball through the bunch and land on your next colour. And what he didn't want to do right now was leave O'Sullivan a chance like this, because this is a really good one, which he hasn't really done anything to earn, but that doesn't make a lot of difference.
One.
Well, he had a free shot into the bunch there with a couple of reds out that he knew he'd be on. It wasn't if he had to rely on the reds in the bunch for his next potting option. But they've spread nicely now.
Nine.
Just a little more measured around the table, O'Sullivan. Trying to grasp a moment. Cue that one. Outstandingly.
Didn't he just?
60.
It's over the top of a ball. It's hard to get that kind of reaction, but he managed it. Very enjoyable session of snooker, this. A few mistakes, but some passages of play with outstanding scoring, mostly from O'Sullivan, but definitely Day has eased himself into the match.
Yes, and as the three-time world champion John Spencer, who won the first ever world championship at the Crucible here in 1977, 25. Used to say, the best kind of snooker is that where, yes, you get quality, but sometimes you have a few mistakes, and that's been this session all over. And I think we've just seen another there. Maybe not a mistake, but certainly not quite as intended.
$33.
And that's
35.
fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that where he's finished. Get used to sometimes balls ending up with the cue ball tight against the ball and awkward cueing, but no, not this time.
36.
If you can play this and get the cue ball across to the right from this black, he's got a choice of reds that go to the left corner from this black. He's got a choice of reds that go to the left corner. Could, of course, play reds to the right middle if that was his way, but yeah, preferred to stun it. Same couple of reds, but into the right middle instead.
The red on the
40.
cushion was hampering there to a certain degree. He played that shot nicely.
Little shake of the head there from Ryan Day. He may go 5-3 down. He's very much in the match. You know, it wouldn't be the kind of session he wanted, but it's not too bad if it does go 5-3, which it hasn't quite done yet. But either way, you know, he is a big part of this match. And the way he's playing, when they resume tonight, you can look forward to, when chances come, taking them, because he will get chances.
$52.
The juxtaposition of blue and pink causing a minor headache.
$56. $57.
He forced an angle that didn't appear to be there on that black. It flew in off the jaw.
64.
But there's another red needed, that's all.
$65.
A really nice session of snooker to watch. Look at this for a shot. Look at this. Oh my goodness, what a shot.
$71.
Well, the crowd who were watching the other match have seen one frame and they probably wish that there was more than that to experience. Some may have tickets for tonight, and of course you all have a great view of this evening watching at home.
79.
Because there's a lot of snooker to be played in this match. Two very attractive attacking players.
$85.
Yeah, Neil and I will be back for the final session this evening, and we can't wait.
86.
Going to have to be a double to right middle. Not quite.
That was a very important frame for Ronnie O'Sullivan to win. He made a few mistakes, but at times he was his brilliant best. All in all, it's a satisfying session for the Rocket because he leads going into this evening's session by 5 frames to 3.